Okay, so what I would like out of Lagrange's theorem is for you to be able to answer first what are left and right cosets. I do remember getting this the first time. I actually had an advantage over Montclair State students because I had a baby abstract algebra my sophomore year as a math ed major, and I think it was a beautiful thing to have. So I remember seeing this the first time and not really fully understanding what they are. I mean, the definition I saw, but why are they important? So what are the important properties of cosets? How do cosets partition groups? What important fact does Lagrange's theorem tell us about subgroups of finite groups? And what are some important consequences of Lagrange's theorem? So I want to take a step back and look back at just cyclic groups. So as you wrote some things in some of the homework that I assigned about finite groups, some of you assume cyclic groups because it's so nice to work with a cyclic group, right? So it's like, oh, I wish it was a cyclic group, I'm just going to make it so. But it's nice because if I have a finite cyclic group of order n, then I know how to characterize all of the subgroups because each positive divisor m of n has exactly one subgroup of order m, and these are the only subgroups of G, and that's how you can create the entire subgroup diagram from just looking at this one theorem. So this theorem's really cool, actually, because I can give you a really big group, and you can still break down all the subgroups theoretically using this theorem. But what if G is not cyclic? Well, as an in-class assignment, I'd like you to look back at D3, and I'm going to put that table back up so you can see the group D3, and then look at the order of D3 and look at how these subgroups are related. So, and then answer the question that is it true that for each divisor of M, does D3 contain a subgroup of exactly that order? Do we have some kind of analogous theorem of a non-cyclic group? D3 is a non-cyclic group. So I'm going to go back to the table after you jot down these questions. That'll work too. You can also take a picture. That was a good idea. You can either use the version of the table that I'm going to give you now. It might be easier to look at the version of the table you created for your work for this week because it has all the nice characterizations in it. So you can take that out of your notes and use that as well. And those are all the answers to the second exam. That's all I have to say about that. I'm sorry that wasn't recorded. Got it down? Okay, I think people around you have it down, so you can move it. Look off of someone else's and then copy the rest down. I'll move back to the table. Let's see. You can read it with the little rectangle in there, right?